Hi guys, my running kid here, coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Sorry I'm late, guys. I apologize for the late review for the books that came out last, what was that? October... No, give me the date.
October 2nd.
Wednesday was the 2nd? Yeah, okay, the 2nd, yeah. But I picked up my books really late. I picked them up Saturday, and I don't like to read through my books all the way just really quick. So it took me a couple of days to, read everything, properly. But in the meantime, there will be some reviews going up later on. I'll do my solo review of Forever Evil 2. I did read that in store. As well as that will be going up on Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, you'll see one of my exclusive reviews. That will be for Jin Rise number 7, the Aliens vs. Genies book. This has been really good so far. So you'll get to see that as an exclusive. But in the meantime, in the meantime, I have a pretty decent stack for you guys. And other than that, also a lot more DC this time. I still promise to do the Villains Month special review. So I will get that done sometime, like I said. But definitely, I got a few DC books for you, and only 2 Marvel this time, but a lot of independent. So we're going to kick it off with independent. In the month of October, it'll go independent, DC, and end with Marvel. So let's kick it off in Dynamite, shall we? Oh yeah, guys, yeah, I'm rocking the ballsy now, guys. So yeah, it's cool. Anyway, what's that supposed to mean?
The price.
There's no price. They can't see my look. See, it's gone pretty much. Nothing. Look at you. All right. Anyway, moving on, guys, to the review. We're kicking off with Black Bat number 6. Brian Buccello and Ronan Clicks still does do a fantastic job with this title, guys. I've been loving what they've been doing, and this cover literally means a lot. Tony Quinn, Black Bat, he finally discovers the truth, as well as what the brute that he was supposed to be working with wanted from him. And he also finds the missing cops that were missing all this time. And he knows there's a race against time because there's a bomb that's been planted in, I believe, City Hall, if I remember correctly. And Tony has to get there quickly before the bomb explodes. And it's very much a race against time, guys. It's really fast paced. The action picks up really well. It draws you in, and you're really to the point. You're like, okay, is Black Bat going to get there in time? Is he not? Is somebody going to die? And then it's the cliffhanger, and man, what a cliffhanger it was. I'm not going to spoil how that ended, but yeah, Black Bat number 6. Excellent job, Mr. Buccello. Keep up the good work. I loved it. Alright. Let's move on to, still in Dynamite, Green Hornet number 6. Mark Waid. Magic Waid, like I said, still killing it on this title. First of all, that Jonathan, let me make sure. Is this Jonathan Lau? I think so. Yeah, Jonathan Lau's cover. Beautiful. So pretty much in this issue alone, Kato and the Hornet, the duo, are reunited after a little bit of a stit between the two because their views have became a little bit different. Britt is really building his way back up, but for the better. He's kind of now in a sense of feeling that what he was doing in the last few issues, he's kind of lost track of what he was meant to do as the Green Hornet. Pose as the bad guy to basically get close to them and then bring them down. So he's rebuilding in this, and he's doing a good job at rebuilding. And Kato seems to realize that his friend Britt is kind of back on that path, but there are still some things that Hornet has to do that he doesn't like doing. He doesn't like doing, but he has to keep up that reputation that he's this badass motherfucker that will stomp a mud hole in you if you cross his paths. And if you somehow get past him, his partner Kato is going to kick your ass. See? But very good indeed. Still, Mark Waid just does a fantastic job of writing this. And there's some things I don't want to spoil in this book, but just Waid really knows what he's doing with this book. Anything Waid touches, guys, I've said it before, anything Mark Waid touches is gold. It really is. And that's not a catchphrase. It's a fact. It really is. So we move on to still in Dynamite. We have one more Dynamite book on this. Lady Rawhide, number 2. Nice cover, right? Eric Troutman, and the artwork in this has been done by Milton Estevan, yeah. Artwork is really good in this, very good. So still Lady Rawhide is still dishing out the justice in the Old West, or Old Mexico. That's where she is. But she realizes that the government there may be some moles in the government as well. There's a good soldier officer of the government that is straight edge. He's really straight edge. He doesn't take corners, and he realized that the government has brought in bounty hunters to help capture Lady Rawhide. She also comes into contact with one of the members of the Sisters of, what are they called again? Damn it. What's her name? The Sisters of, what are they called? Oh man, I can't believe I'm forgetting the sisterhood. What are they called? The Sisters of the oh, come on. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. Oh, jeez. The Sisters of the White Rose. There we go. She finds one of the members of that is badly injured, and she takes Lady Rawhide takes her to one of her allies to mend up, and her rest of her sisters are on the verge of revolting, starting a war. Actually, they infiltrate the governor's office, and they're going after the governor. So in a sense, it's Lady Rawhide promised Adelina, one of the sisters of the White Rose that was injured, that she would bring her sisters to her. So it's a race against time to stop these, her fellow sisters from making a mistake out of sheer anger. But other than that, it was really good. The storytelling was really good. Fast pace. Lady Rawhide, you know, she's no slouch. She will get nitty gritty, and it was very good. I did enjoy it. All right. Okay. So, and I apologize for that. Sometimes you forget sometimes the names, so I apologize. All right. So this was a title I was keeping my eyes on for a while once I heard it was coming out. Now with Dynamite, guys, we've seen some of the great pulp heroes be brought into the modern era. They do modern takes on them. But one of the characters that Dynamite has the license to, they kept it, well, not all of them, well, most of them, they kept his character based in the era that he was really big in the 1940s and 30s and things like that. And that character is none other than the Shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to introduce you to the Shadow now. Issue number 1. David List does the writing, and Colton Worley is doing the artwork. Colton Worley is the same artist who was doing the first few issues, the first 6 issues of The Spider. That same artist. If you've seen his artwork, it is beautiful. Now, in this, basically, Mr. List brings the Shadow into the modern era, the 21st century now. And it's really interesting because I was wondering how they're going to do this. So basically, what it is this is Lamont Cranston, the original Shadow, in the 21st century. Hasn't aged a bit. Now, how is that possible? While he's been gone from the city of New York, he's been back in the Far East, in Tibet, finishing his meditation trainings. And he's actually playing, he calls himself Lamont Cranston III. He hides in plain sight pretending to be his own grandson. So people think that he's Lamont Cranston III, the grandson of the original Lamont Cranston. And since he's been brought back, he's learned some techniques that keeps him from aging. What is the technique? He learned the anti-aging technique, which basically stops him from aging. He mastered it, so he still looks as young as he was back in the 30s and 40s. Now he still has his network, but it's become even better than ever. The network is run by people that former children of the people he used to work with back in the days, including one of his former lover, Margot Lane, her granddaughter. And they kind of have a little awkward moment because they're like, he looks at her and he's like, you know, he kind of still sees Margot. But this is a different take because, in a sense, that he realizes that even though times have changed, the villains are still the same. The crooks, criminals, the people that prey on the innocent are still the same. But sometimes his techniques, his old techniques to warp the minds of evil men, don't work as well as it used to. Because, you know, so it kind of plays that up a lot in this. Like I said, the artwork in this was really good. And one of the coolest things is, not only is the Shadow back, but one of his old enemies is around, Shiwu Khan. The same man who thinks he's a descendant of Genghis Khan. Unfortunately, he was not able to master the anti-aging techniques like Lamont was. So he's kind of old and decrepit, and he's in jail now. But just because he's in jail, he still has plans to dominate the world and everything like that, rule it. And it gets really dire need in there. There's a cliffhanger in this that just showcases, man. Let me show you a little bit of Shiwu Khan, if you can see it. Here he is right here, Lamont visiting him in jail. He was all old and things like that. The artwork in this was just really, just so beautiful. Like I said, Colton Worley's artwork is just so great. And you guys know how I feel about the Shadow. He's one of my favorite pulp heroes, and this was just so good to read. David List just did a very good job on this title, bringing the Shadow into the modern era, and hence we get the Shadow now. I think this is just a mini-series, but so far, I love it. Very good stuff. If you are a Shadow fan, you will not be disappointed. I promise you that. Just look at my face. You won't be. I promise you. So we move on to Image. And Lazarus #4. Greg Roca. Another home run, sir. Another home run with this title. This was excellent. Very action-packed, very gory, very bloody. Forever was at the last issue, we saw Forever in a dire situation. In a sense, her and another Lazarus member, Lazarus like her, by the name of, what was his name? Joaquin? Yeah. Joaquin or Joaquin. They were in an explosion, but it was actually sent by Forever's brother and sister. So there's like a coup going on in the Carell family. However, they thought it took her out, but you can't keep her down. Her metabolical, her whole immune system, everything, she's superhumanly, she took a direct missile shot, and she's hurt, but she's healing, and it's very, very intense. Forever realizes that she doesn't really know who is responsible, but her sister, even Six, sets up her brother, the other family member, her brother, into and it just, like, she has one of her bodyguards beat the crap out of her, and then she tells Forever it was our brother who did this, and Forever was like, okay, he's gonna pay for this. And it's like, wow, they just manipulated her so badly. But it was really intense, and the cliffhanger at the end of the story, for Forever finally realizes something about the Carell family, and I'm not going to spoil what that is, but it very much, now Mr. Rucker basically put us on a point now saying, okay, where does this go now? Where does this title go from there after that explosive bang bang shot? But Forever #4, good stuff. Right. And last but not least, Mara, Brian Woods and Ming Doyle's. I thought this series is over, but it wasn't. This is issued, I think this is the last issue. Now that Mara has kind of discovered her powers, and she's kind of lost her way, she's lost her brother, this book is basically, in a sense, seeing where does Mara go from there. Does she give up on humanity? Or, what is she going to do? Will she fly back to Earth and, take it over, let the power consume her and destroy everybody because she doesn't care? She lost her brother. She's alone now. And she's just out in space. She lands on the moon at one point, and she's just looking at Earth. And just like, can I ever go back? She's even playing like, making like, looking at it from afar and making like, this is how small it is. You know what I'm saying? And she comes to a realization because of interaction with an astronaut. That maybe there is something worth coming back to for Earth. But for right now, she's signing off. And this was just very touching. That's what it was. You know, it's a sense of, like I said, you know, does she give up on Earth? You know, I'll even read it what she says. You know, I like here she basically talks about a world that can still dream bigger than what it is and strive for greatness beyond. So I'm not ready to come back, Earth. Not just yet. Maybe one day, when you're ready, when I'm ready. This is Mara Prince, broadcasting live. And I'm out. You know, here she is just smiling and things like that. So yeah, it's over. And then of course they show another title that I'm looking forward to reading for Image, Rocket Girl. Amy Reeder is going to be doing the artwork on that. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this was good. Very good job, Mr. Woods, with this. I'm wondering this is the last issue or not, but other than that, it was good. Very good. All right. And we move on to Top Cow. And this was another book that I was really looking forward to, but it was only digital. And I'm not really big into digital stuff. You kind of could call me old school. I like to have the book in my hand to read. But this was another title, Top Cow, Hero and Villain Entertainment, Bushido, number 1 of 5, The Way of the Warrior. Alright, so we have Robin Levent and Jaceta Sutai. I hope I'm saying your name right. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrong. And this story was inspired by a screenplay, Rising Sun. Basically what this is, guys, you should know me. I'm a ninja samurai fanatic. I love the concept of ninja, love the concept of samurai. I love their code, what they stood for. I have a lot of appreciation for some of what they carry amongst them. For the samurai, courage, honor, loyalty, respect. These words that are tattooed on my arm definitely play a lot in this. But what this is really about is samurais versus vampires. The artwork in this was beautiful, very beautiful. So basically what this is, a young man, the year is in the 17th century, so that's like 1600s, 1663 as they say, and a young man aboard a ship with his parents are sailing, and he witnesses his parents getting slaughtered. Everybody on the ship is getting slaughtered by these individuals till we get a glimpse of what they are. They're vampires, and these vampires are vicious. You talk about biting the necks and things like that. Yeah, they'll do that, but they're more of ravenous dogs. They just like to kill. They just kill, and that's how they get off on them. Their bloodlust. Like here, you can see it right here. That's them just killing each other, killing people. And he witnesses this. His father tells him to run. However, he falls overboard, and he washes up on the island of Japan. And he is found by a samurai a man known as Izumu, and he takes the young man in and raises him as his own, along with his birth son. And he's really confused. He says, "I don't understand what you're saying to me," you know. And Izuma is saying, "You will. Don't worry. He's going to teach you Japanese and things like that." And he names him Kichiro, which in Japanese, because I do dabble in Japanese and learning it, understanding the words and things like it means in Japanese, Kichiro means lucky one. That's what it means. So he's raised and taught the ways of the samurai, the Bushido. And unfortunately, because of that, he can't become a samurai like his adopted brother, Orochi, because of the fact that, well, he's gaijin. He's a gaijin. He's not, even though he's so accustomed now to their ways, he's learned their ways, he's learned their styles, everything, but he is still, in the eyes of the shogun and everybody else, even his brother, who kind of resents him a lot because their father gave him extra lessons to even better himself, even though his father even knows he can't become a samurai. He's still a gaijin. However, and it gets really in depth from there, guys, because you really feel for Kichiro in this. You really feel for him. He wants to become a samurai. He wants to do honor to his adopted family, but in the emperor, the shogun's eyes, he can't. They can't. He can't do it. A lot of people laugh at him, like, look at the gaijin trying to be a samurai and things like that. And it is hurtful. And even to the point, it even hurts more when the shogun bestows his daughter onto his brother as a future bride, as well as to take over the throne. And we find out that her heart is already set with somebody, Kichiro, and he has to give her up, even despite the love that he shares for her, but not to bring disrespect to his adopted family. And it gets, once again, and you're really drawn into the storytelling here, guys. You're really drawn into the character, and you put yourself in Kichiro's shoes, and you're like, I can understand full-heartedly what he's going through. And it is until then, when he's leaving, vampires come to the island, come to Edo, Japan, and it's a massacre. And Kichiro handles himself pretty well. He showcases, even though he's not a full samurai, he still is great with the sword. And he takes out vampires, he cuts their arms off, he slices one's head through from the mouth, clean right off. And his father, I'm gonna end it right here, because at the end, guys, it ends on a misunderstanding, and you're just like, oh man, but so good. I do recommend this. If you are a fan of Bushido and things like that, you're gonna love this. I guarantee you. And I know I spent a lot of time talking about this because it was just so good, guys. It really was. I think it's gonna come out all week. All five. It's 5 parts. I think, because this is already out digitally. But like I said, I'm old school. I like to have the real print in my hand. No disrespect to digital stuff, but I'm old school. And Bushido, Way of the Warrior was great. Heroes and Villains Entertainment, you do another good job, because I have another title that you guys did, The Son of Merlin, which was really good. Very good indeed. So that's all the independent. Let's move on to DC. Alright, so we have Batwing number 24. This will be another title I will be putting in. I'm looking at the package that I got to send Gabi, my mentor. I'm sending him all my issues of Batwing so he can read them, and then when he's done he can send it back to me. But this is another issue. Jim Palomino and Justin Gray and Eduardo Patsico, I hope I'm saying your name right, continues where the last issue left off with that cliffhanger we saw. Lucius Fox's son is Batwing, the new Batwing, and he was up against the assassin, the British assassin known as Lady Vic. And let's just say it didn't go too well. Even though he's skilled in MMA, mixed martial arts, and the suit does increase his abilities, Lady Vic was still on the top of her A game, and she gave Luke a thrashing. Alright, let's put it like that. And she threw him off a roof, and the suit went offline. So he's free falling, guys, and he can't stop himself. And you're looking at this, you're looking at it and you're like, thank God he's got that suit on, because he's, I'm talking not just free falling, he's skidding off the side of buildings like shh, and you just see it just, and he finally is able to get back online and stop and fly off, glide back off. This does feel a lot more now like I said, like Batman Beyond. Luke is Terry McGinnis, and younger Bruce is still guiding him in a sense, instead of older Bruce. Vic's ex-girlfriend Xena loses her father to a massive heart attack, and so even though they broke up, she falls to him, and she doesn't want to be alone, and that stuff happens, and they end up getting it on because she just didn't want to be alone. And there's still there's still a little bit of Luke is still in still in hot water with his family after the last issue, but still Luke tells Batman that about Lady Vic, and she's like, there's this woman, he's like, describe her, British accent. Batman says blonde hair, yeah, Lady Vic, and she's like, he's like, yeah, I figured and then he's like, let me handle it, and then Luke's stepping up, he's like, no, this is on me, I'll handle it, Batman, but I need to repair the suit has been badly damaged, and he goes to what I guess you could say Batwing's headquarters, the Bat Bunker, and he's here. That's where he can fix his suit. And look, a little tidbit of the Batman Beyond suit right here again. They have that a lot. And he gets another crack at Lady Vic. This time, Luke uses his head. He realizes that I'm a good fighter, but you're better. She's better. So now I have to outthink you. So what does he do? He takes, in a sense, he throws a projectile that has miniature bats in it, and it's also filled with the Scarecrow's fear toxin and truth serum. So it's a fear toxin and truth serum, and he uses it to understand, okay, who sent her, why they sent her, and things like that. So it was really brilliant stuff. I'm not going to spoil the rest of it, but that's how he was able to defeat Lady Vic. I'll even show you what she saw when he was looking at her. This is what he saw when he looked at when Lady Vic was looking at him. That because of the fear toxin, so it was really funny. But another good issue once again for Batwing. This is a title I tell a lot of people don't sleep on. It's a Batman kind of Batman-esque title, but it's actually pretty cool. And I'm more and more on board that Luke Fox now is Batman. And speaking of Batman, Detective Comics number 24. John Layman, Jason Fabok, just excellent on this. This guy, Wrath, even though I've been talking about, I'm tired of all these guys, Wrath this, Wrath that, Wrath, it's like, oh God, you're burning out that name. You're burning out that. But in this, it's a full-blown assault on the police force. And it's up to Batman to stop Wrath from killing Gotham PD. Everybody. I'm not just talking about just, the beat cops. I'm talking Harvey Bullock. I'm talking Jim Gordon, people like that. Because of something that happened so long ago that is connected to Wrath. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but he wants to take out the police force. And he's well equipped to do it too. He nearly did it. And so it's a race against time for Bruce to stop this guy and put all his wits against another person who's got the same kind of wits. You get what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how it is. But does Batman succeed in his mission? Not going to spoil that. And what comes of Wrath? You just got to read it for yourself, guys. Detective Comics 24. Good stuff. What are you booing for? Alright. We move on to Earth 2. Number 16. I'm not sure if this is James Robinson's final his final story, but I know he is going over to Marvel, and he's gonna. Sorry, that was my phone. And he's going over to Marvel, and he's gonna be writing the New Invaders, which I'm looking forward to reading. Cap, Bucky, Namor, and the original Human Torch back together. That's epic right there. But let's talk about this. The World Army is being demolished by Steppenwolf. The Wonders, or this version of the JSA, they're just coming back they just getting back on their feet from the thrashing they took by Steppenwolf's cohorts. We see that Steppenwolf is serious about everything. He gives this big monologue speech about, I used to just fight for my lord, Darkseid and everything, but now I'm fighting for me. I'm fighting for me, and I'm gonna take over. So almost, I swear to God, I was like, if he says kneel before, I would have been like, why'd you say that? But this was epic. When the rest of the gang got back in it, Green Lantern and all of them got back in it, it looked like the tide was going to turn in a sense, but man, Steppenwolf and his one of his cohorts, Fatal, or what's his name? Brutal, they just double teamed Green Lantern Alan, and they just beat him down. And I swear, I was like, don't tell me they're gonna kill off Alan. Don't do that. Don't do that. But they just beat him down badly. And you see Atom Smasher, the Atom, try to get to him. He's like, Atom, I'm coming. He's like, Lantern, I'm coming. And Brutal just smacks the big guy away. Nope, just bam, and he just falls back. And I'm like, oh man. But it's really, once again, Steppenwolf giving this big monologue speech to the reporters that are there, and he's going off, running his mouth, doing this, and then, boom, something just happens to him instantly, and you are like, and then we see what happened, and then we see the individual who did it, because he removed, it is a he removes his mask, and showcases what happened, and my jaw dropped when I saw that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But then I started to realize, now wait a minute. Did he really in the first issue? Giving you clues right there, people. And he's just standing proud like, for Darkseid. And it just ended. That cliffhanger alone just had my jaw out. And I had to roll my mouth back up. This was really, really good. Very good indeed. Green Arrow. There's so many individuals who got green in their names. Green Arrow number 24. Jeff Lemire. Adrian Sorrentino does the artwork. Deadly Homecoming. Basically, guys, Ollie's home. He's back in Seattle. Yeah, you gotta remember, in New 52, Ollie, there is no Star City, or there is a Star City, but Ollie occupies Seattle. He's back in Seattle with Shadow, and the bad thing is Count Vertigo has followed him back, and Vertigo is making the people of Seattle's life a living hell very badly. Arrow is not up to scrup because of his last battle with Count Vertigo. Vertigo really messed him up badly to the point Ollie can't even really shoot an arrow. He can't even shoot an arrow anymore because he's so messed. His equilibrium, everything about him is just so messed up. So what happens is Shadow goes into the fight, but she is caught off guard by another player now. Enter Richard Dragon. I told you in the last issue, Richard Dragon made his debut. He's back, and he's fighting Shadow, and you can just see how Richard Dragon, they show Richard Dragon's ability to just read everything. He's like, I'll even show you, like, when he's fighting her. He's fighting Shadow. Let's see, where is it? Alright, here it is. Here's Richard Dragon. Now, he's bald now. He doesn't have hair. And you see him, he's just reading, like, look at all her spots, like right shoulder, key point for her offensive capability, exposure, temple, lethal damage, thin finger, easy to break, all these things. Like, he's just reading it so easily, and so when she attacks, he can just easily deflect it. And I was just like, that's Richard Dragon for you. He's one of the best martial artists in the DC universe. Now, how does Ollie defeat Count Vertigo? I'm not going to spoil that. Does he? I'm not going to spoil that either. But this was really good. And once again, I applaud Jeff Lemire and them, what they're doing with... They really turned this title around. But it's the ending that really kind of... I'm like, oh, really? Now they're bringing this character... I'm going to spoil that for you guys. For those of my fellow Arrow fans, Diggle has entered the Arrow universe now. So I'm like, really? Stop it. It's like, really? Come on. Yeah, Diggle's now here, guys. Green Lantern number 24, Lights Out Part 1. Relic. Robert Venditti. Billy Tan's artwork. Molto bene. Just great stuff. Relic is no joke. I swear to God, this guy's no joke. Man, he comes right to Oa. Not going to spoil anything in this book, but I'm going to just tell you what Relic does. He comes to Oa. Everybody's there, except for Guy. But everybody's there. Kyle, everybody. And Kyle's telling Hal who Relic is, and they're just like, he's a threat. Some of the Guardians even said that. And I love the line Kilowog gives, like, how big of a threat? When Relic steps off his ship, they realize, they're like, holy shit, this dude is huge. Like, and this is the first time that even the rest of the core members even realize, okay, now Hal seems more like he's leading the core. But this was just epically good, guys. I'm not gonna spoil anything that happens because it ends badly, very badly. I'm not joking, serious about it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this storyline ends. I think it's a 4-part miniseries, 4-part story arc. It's going to continue in New Core, New Guardians, Red Lantern, and then it ends in the annual. So yeah, Relic is no joke. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Number 6, Keith Giffen, Pop Han. Sibling rivalry. Okay, first of all, this does not happen. Okay, this is false advertising. But since I am a huge He-Man fan, you guys, you should know me. How many times I've said I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with this guy. I had every toy of this character. I even had the big Castle Grayskull. But this is the first time we actually finally get to see Hordak make his full appearance. And Amara finally has, in a sense, broken free of her former master, and she realizes who she is. And the rest of the masters are battling strongly against the Hordak's forces, but it's still a dire battle because people are dying. And it's revealed that Hordak realizes to the He-Man and the rest that he's won. He's won already. Eternia is his now. And the monologue between Hordak and He-Man, and just the factor of the two, was really good. If you listen to how he was talking to He-Man and his sister, Shira or Mora, it was just like he literally was saying like Grayskull. Now we all know that there was a king called Grayskull, and what Hordak does to Castle Grayskull in this. My God, I could not believe that. In 30 years of He-Man, I've never seen that done to Grayskull ever, and Hordak did it. I could not believe, Mr. Giffen, you sure you want to go that route? But yes, indeed, very good, indeed. I don't want to spoil it. This was just too good. There are just some titles I cannot spoil that. The Movement, number 5. I recently tweeted Gail Simone and told her, another home run, Miss Simone.
Yeah, she was flying not too long ago.
And she did?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Thank you.
See? Anyway. So thank you, Gail, if you're listening. Thank you. Once again, like I said, hashtag forever loyal fan. Yes. I love the cover of Virtue doing the whole Uncle Sam, the Movement wants you. In this issue, the Movement has a trial for the 2 cops that were caught on camera about to sexually abuse the young lady that they were, and they're on trial for that. One of the cops, he's like, look, we're sorry, I'm sorry what I did, it was stupid. But the other cop, who's really pig-headed and strong, he's like, they, did it, I didn't care, things like that. The police chief has a meeting. He has a meeting with Virtue outside of her costume, and they're in this diner and they're talking, and he's telling her, "You have to stop this. If you don't stop the trial, you have to stop it. There are other people behind this, and they're bringing in heavy guns now." And Virtue comes to realize that there may be a mole. She even says it. I'm gonna spoil that. And the trial even goes even further with Officer Subpoena and all of them, and it's not going so well for them. They're talking about, how could you do this? You have all these acts of bravery and things like that, but you pulled this crap. You literally were trying to sexually abuse this young girl. So what do you say about that? We have Mouse, who is writing I think he's writing a love letter to Tremor, and he gets into a scuffle with this serial killer who's been going around Coral City murdering people, women, and we find out that he's not alone, and that's where we get to see the heavy hitters that this organization has brought in to put an end to the movement. There's also in here a key member of the team that supposedly quits, and I'm going to end it there. But it was really good. Once again, Gail Simone just does a fantastic job, and just keep up the good work, Gail. As I said before, loyal fan, faux life. There you go. Alright, so that's all DC. The 2 Marvel books that I got. All New X-Men, number 17, chapter 6 of Battle of the Atoms. Bendis, oh my god, Bendis just seriously fantastic. Alright, don't want to spoil too much on this either, because this was just really good. We saw Young Beast, Young Bobby, and Magique Illyana go into the future. They want answers. They want to know, who are these X-Men, why are they here, and they go. When they get to the Xavier Institute, the school, they are meted by the X-Men. But before that, we see that in that future, there was the first mutant president, and you're not going to believe who became president, but it ends badly. Not going to spoil who she is. It is a female, but I'm not going to spoil who that is. Seeing this future, these X-Men, was really funny. I love Colossus has this really porno mustache. He's got a mustache. It's like a pornographic mustache, and Bobby makes fun of it. We see Bobby Iceman in this. He looks like Merlin. I'm not even joking about that. Kid Omega, Quentin Quire, becomes something I could not believe. Jubilee takes on the role of, I'm not going to spoil that either. But there was just a lot, and there's a real touching moment between Illyana and Peter. It was really nice. It looks like Black Panther and Storm had a child, because that's who she kind of looks like. But yeah, and they're just telling the kids, they're telling them, you got to go back, get out of here, go back to where you came from, and they're like, we're not leaving until you tell us what happened, what is going on. And we kind of get a glimpse of what's going on, and it kind of also, once again, involves Beast again. it involves Beast, and you're like, holy crap, like, what the hell? Like, why is it always Beast? But very good stuff. The interaction between Bobby and himself again is just so funny. And that's where we really get to see it's all about in the future. And what happens later on is they're brought back. And it also ends in a sense of realizing that maybe, I can't even spoil that, but let's just say the X-Men that came back first, those future X-Men, there's more than them meets the eye. Let's just put it like that. But Battle Yada number 6, just great, good stuff. Bendis, just keep up the good work. I've been saying it. You being on the X-Men titles, your consistency is just superb. And finally, the last book, Mighty Avengers number 2. Yeah. Like I said, despite his artwork, this was fantastic, man. Al Ewing is doing a fantastic. This one issue was better than the last. So basically, one of Thanos's cohorts, Proxima Midnight, comes down, causes havoc, and it's up to Monica Rambeau, aka Photon, aka Captain Marvel, all the different names she's had, but she now goes in the name of Spectrum, Luke Cage, Spider, Doc, I don't call him that, and this guy called Spider Hero. We don't know who he is underneath the mask, but he's just called Spider. And they're defending themselves against this. This is the first issue we get to see the Blue Marvel in his headquarters, his scientist fortress underwater. He's talking with, as you can see here, he's talking with Awatu. Again, they've talked before. And he explains why he hasn't joined the Avengers and everything like that. He doesn't like the fact that, you know, if we're heroes, we're supposed to be for the people and not be above them and everything like that. He has a very humanitarian attitude, which he's always had. Once again, if you haven't read the Blue Marvel miniseries, I do recommend it. That's another recommendation from me. Check that out, and you can understand why he feels the way he does about things. But in terms of what's going on with the action, it's just full-blown action-packed. Just heroes, these heroes just defending Manhattan. They're fighting in Midtown. And, you know, Ock is being a dick, as always. And Monica just showing that great leadership skills that she has, telling Spider-Man, hey, get off the cell phone, get to fighting. Like, she, you know, because he's talking with his spider army, and she's like, Spider-Man, get off the phone. Yeah, she said it, not me. Okay? And she's just like, you know, keep the civilians safe, and I'll do the rest. Like, she's using her light speed, and she's just light passing through the enemy's heads and stuff. I'll show you right here. There she is, like, passing through people's heads, like, shoot. And Proxima Midnight sees that, and she's like, okay. And I love the line she even says, her, the light pretending to be human, their leader, remove her, and the rest will fall. So she takes this spear that she carries that is pretty much just as fast as Monica. Because Monica moves at the speed of light. She throws it, and it doesn't miss, and it pierces her. Luke, you know, tries to get to Monica, and, you know, unfortunately Proxima gets to Luke and just starts wailing on Luke. And I'm like, oh, Luke, don't, get up, Luke. I'm like, get up, Luke, get up, get up, get up. And she's like, I love the line, she's like, interesting, you're unusually resistant to damage, human, but how far unbreakable. But but far from unbreakable. So let's put you to the test. And she's just wailing on Luke until Luke gets an assist. I'm gonna show you from the citizens of New York, as you can see. And an old woman is leading the charge, and they're just throwing rocks at them. And Proxima's like, "You fools! Like, what is a brick gonna do to me?" and everything like that. What is your last word? You got any last words? And the old woman just says, "Avengers assemble," and they all just start. All the citizens start to say it. Then Luke just gets up, and he just starts beating the crap out of Proxima. And Luke is just like, "No more. You hear me? No more." He's like, bam. He's like, "No more. You hear me?" Bam. He's just hitting her and hitting her. Man, it got dark in my room there. Sorry about that. I'll be right. He's like, "No more. You hear me?" He's like, "No more. Not another breath. I'm taking no more." And people are thinking they're hitting each other so hard they're causing seismic quakes. But it's not just them. We find out that another one of Thanos' cohorts is manipulating Doctor Strange big time. And afterwards, Thanos comes in. Not down to earth, but he just comes in, as you can see here. And he's like, "You promised me you would end this. You know, because the Earth is not protected by the Avengers now. So you said this would be easy, but it's not. You're having trouble." So she's like, "Come back," and everything like that. And unfortunately, even though the battle ended, Monica's still in bad shape because of what Proxima did, and pretty much we start to see what this guy, I'm forgetting the other guy who's manipulating Doctor Strange, what he has Doctor Strange summon, which is really causing the seismic trembling forces. And I'm going to show you who it is, guys. Look who is back. Sean McGrath. When I saw that, I was like, oh man. And now, and because of that, look who's on the way. Because it qualifies as a level 8 threat. The Blue Marvel is on the way. So we'll see the Marvel soon. And I love his new costume. It looks great. This was just so good, guys. I really, really enjoyed it very much. And I can't wait to see the rest of the team come together. Can't wait to see when White Tiger comes back, and Victor, and when She-Hulk joins the team, and Ronan, and people like that, Falcon. I can't wait. This has been really good. If it keeps writing the way it is, I'm cool. Because Al Ewing is doing such a fantastic job as of right now. Only 2 issues in. This was way better than issue 1. Very much. But once again, like I said, the writing is still good. I will tolerate you-know-who's artwork. Alright. So, other than that, guys, like I said, thank you for watching. Last week was really good. A lot of good stuff that came out this week. Once again, guys, you know me, guys. Show some love and respect to everybody. You don't even need me to tell you who. Just look in the description. You see some people that just show some love and respect to. Also, once again, like I said, stay tuned. Don't forget to check out Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, where I will put one of my exclusive reviews on that channel for Jin Rise. Also, look forward to the what I thought of issue part 2 of Forever Evil. But other than that, this is Mamba and Kid, the Honorable Warrior, saying peace and love. Stay tuned, keep it real, guys. I'll catch you guys on the flip flop. Take care.